Hey guys, let's talk about challenging belief with context and shifting people perspective. Okay, and this is all come down to objection handling again. To handle someone, no, it's not really about handling people objection. It's about addressing their concern and not being, not try to overcome or not try to handle them. Of course, if they buy into your high ticket program, they're gonna have concern. Okay, we want to address them by shifting their beliefs with context, shifting their perspective with context. So basically, let's start off with the fundamental. When you met with objection, you're being put through the test by the universe. Okay, an example I can give that is that when you squeeze an orange juice, what came out of it is when you squeeze an orange, what came out of it? Orange juice, right? So, and you can't really give someone $1 if you don't have it. So you can't give the prospect certainty if you don't have it in yourself. Okay, so when you met the objection, you're being squeezed, you're being put through the test, right? If you let frustration and anger surface, your prospects will pick up on that and they will respond back with resistance, right? People respond to your energy, not your word. Okay, so what you want to do is when you get met, when you spend an hour explaining all your stuff, going through all that presentation, all that stuff, and people say no, people give you a very harsh objection. What you want to say is you want to stay grounded, stay calm, and say, okay, no problem, right? So you want to say that in a very, very neutral tone. So there'll be no either positive or negative energy from it. So the next thing that we want to go through next stage is after you said, okay, no problem, we want to actually redirect the thought. We want to diffuse the energy, and by redirecting the thought, depend on how the flow of the conversation, you can do permission asking. But Jenny, can I ask you a question? Right. So now we're asking for permission to actually handle their concern, to address their concern. Right. And first of all, we should always ask what do you mean, all that stuff. But that for the other video. One of the other thing is to actually use a softener. A softener is just like permission asking, but it's go a little softer. So Jenny, so back then you just mentioned this problem. So are you open to some coaching? And then you wait for confirmation, and then you said, are you sure? That's called a double ask, okay? And this is very, very soft. A softener is a lot softer than permission asking itself, right? So Jenny, I noticed that you told me that you have this problem before, but you also mentioned that you have this objection. So, I noticed that you said you don't have enough cash before, but then now you mentioned that, you can't afford this program. Isn't that why you're on this call in the first place? Something like that. So I recognize this pattern in the past before, and I recognize this pattern in the past before that result people on staying stuck where they at. Would you be open to look at this, in another way? So again, you're waiting for their confirmation. And what you want to do is actually to put everything to context. Once they say yes, because now you use a softener, it's very easy for people to say yes to you because you're not asking, hey, look at this way. You just, hey, are you open to some coaching? Hey, are you open to look at this from another angle? Hey, can I ask you a question? So it's a very, very easy yes question. And subconsciously, they give us permission to actually address that concern. Okay. So look, Jenny, what I want to do is I want to put this into a weight loss context, if that's all right. All right. And without this one, you can't really ask them, waiting for them to confirm every time, but, just put it out there. So Jenny, do you know that losing weight is so simple? It's just eating healthy and exercise. Would you agree to that? Right, waiting for the confirmation. So look, if you and I were to walk on the street and pick out a random overweight person and tell them the same thing, would you say they would agree to that too? And you wait for them to say yes, of course, right? So now we actually explain that context to them. They actually shift the whole focus from this angle and having a look at it from another angle, completely different angle. Okay, so look, exactly, knowing how to do something and actually doing it is completely different. So Jenny, you told me that you have, that you want to get to XYZ and you need to have ABC in place, correct? So if price is an issue, you can go read 100 books about this topic from the library for free and gain 5% of the knowledge from this program. But I don't think, that's why I don't think that's why we're both on this call, and I genuinely don't think that's what's best for you. Would you agree to that? Right. So really, explaining the context have to be relating to that objection. So if the objection not about the price, you have to actually loop back using another statement that actually makes sense in that matter. So so here are a couple of notes when we finish. Objection came either, you know, came either through resistance created by your energy or lack of rapport and trust. Objection never disappear by trying to overcome and rebuttal, right? It can be only, addressed. It can only be resolved by shifting one perspective and one belief. And if you structure your call correctly, it wouldn't have any objection in the first place. A call where a prospect close themselves toward you and your offer.